So next problem up, but we're going to handle this, well, smoothly as we can. First things first is going to be reading the question sentence first. So right here, what is the price of the third textbook? All right, sounds good. So what is the price of the third textbook? So we might be dealing with, one, two, whatever number of textbooks, but we want to focus our attention on that third one, the price specifically of that third one. So here, 3 textbooks have an average price of $18. Okay, let's really highlight that average price. Everybody, can you give me another word that you can think of that means average? What's another word that you can think of that means average? That's going to be mean, right? Yeah, that is mean. So when they say that we have an average price of $18, that's pretty much saying that the mean of these values of these 3 textbooks, the mean is going to be 18. So we already have a piece of information that could definitely help us out. Next up, we're told that 2 of these textbooks cost $20 and $16. Okay, let's write that down as well. So we have textbook 1 and textbook 2 are going to be $16, $20, and then we are missing that third textbook. Okay, cool, sounds good. Now the question really is, I know how to calculate mean. I add everything up and divide by the number of numbers, but how can I work backwards? I think that's really the true question. How do we work backwards here? Now, we're going to go over a couple of test-taking strategies. Number 1, if you are at a loss, if you are freaking out and you have no idea what to do, the great thing is that you're going to be using multiple choice answers. And that's because you are taking a standardized test. My party people, if we wanted to plug in, we could, because all we would have to do is plug the number in and then calculate the mean. Everybody, what number does our mean have to be for us to know that we're correct? What number do we have to get if we calculate the mean? Whichever number we plug in, it doesn't matter which one we plug in. What does the mean have to be when we calculate it for us to know that we're correct? Yeah, it's going to be 18. Again, we're saying it right here. The average price, the mean was 18. So if we want to use the answer choices in this case, I don't always recommend it because it does take a hot second to do it. But if you don't know any other way, hey, that'll work. So let's go ahead and pretend that nobody here knows. Let's just try it out. So first up, let's plug in that 34 and let's see if that's correct. Let's try this out. So everybody, 16 plus 20. Let's actually just go ahead and show the calculation here for the mean. So if we have 16 plus 20 plus 34, what amount are we dividing by? 3 textbooks. So we'll go ahead and just write 3 right there at the bottom. And let's make this here slightly smaller. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get after it here. So 16 plus 20, 36. 36 plus 34. What's that going to be? Yeah, that'll end up being 70. So let's go ahead and do that there. Let me just show you here. 16 plus 20 plus 34. 6 plus 4, that's going to give us 10. Carry that 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 2, that'll be 4. And plus 3 right here, that'll be 7. So the mean that we have with that 34 would be 70 divided by 3. And my party people, what is 70 divided by 3? Well, let's see. 3 going into 70. 3 goes into 7 twice. 3 times 2 is 6. Drop that 0. 3 going into 10 is 3. And this is getting a little awkward. This is getting a little awkward. Because, everybody, if we're trying to calculate the mean with the answer choices, I tried to plug in this 34 right over here. And I tried to just plug and chug. I tried to see if that would work. And as I'm dividing by 3, am I getting 18? Am I getting 18, everybody? No, I'm not. So if you're sitting here confused, You're absolutely right, because 34 does not work. Again, we need 18 as the mean for this to work. So that's why, if you're feeling confused on this, yeah, you're right, because we're plugging in 34 to see if that'll work. And in this case, it just doesn't. It just doesn't. So what we can do at this very moment is we can take all of this, we can just make it a little smaller and throw it here in the corner. And that didn't work. So I'm just going to go ahead and cross that out. Now let's go ahead and plug in 18. Let's plug in 18 and let's see what we get then. Let me try that out. So I'm going to circle that 18. Let's try to calculate the mean again. So the mean is going to be 16 plus 20. This time we're trying 34, or not 34, but 18. Let's give it a shot. So 16 plus 20 plus 18 over 3. My party people, here we go. 16 plus 20 plus 18. What's that going to give us? 6 plus 8, that's going to give us 14, carry the 1. And then we have 1 plus 1 is 2. Then plus another 2 is 4. And then plus that 1 is 5. So what we have here is 54. And then we're going to divide that by 3. My party people, what is 54 divided by 3? Let's check that out. 3 going into 5, that happens one time. From there, we'll subtract 1 times 3, which is 3. That's 2. Drop that 4. Everybody, 3 goes into 24. How many times? That's going to be 8. Oh, look at that. There's our mean, everybody. There's our mean, 18. Is that correct? Is that the mean that we should have gotten? Absolutely. So what does it mean coincidentally, right? It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. But what does that mean about the 18 that we plugged in? What does that mean about the 18? It means that it works. It means that it's the correct answer. And there we are. B is the correct answer in this case. And so for this particular problem, I went ahead and solved this by plugging and chugging. But you might agree with me that plugging and chugging is pretty lengthy, right? Plugging and chugging means we have to plug in 1, 2, maybe up to 4 numbers in hopes that it works. And the question is that the fastest way to do it? Absolutely not. There are better ways. All right, next problem up, and we want to evaluate this expression, the expression being 5 multiplied by the difference of n and 1 squared plus 4 when n equals 3. All right, so the way that we're going to handle this one here is we're going to begin by replacing the variable with 3. Nice and easy. So once we do that, we end up having 5 multiplied by parentheses, 3 minus 1 all squared plus 4. From here, everyone, we have to follow the order of operations. The first step is going to be parentheses. So I'll take care of my parentheses right there. 3 minus 1, that's going to give us 2. So we have 5 multiplied by 2 squared plus 4. Next up, we'll handle any exponents. And I see that we have a clear exponential notation right there. 2 squared. 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 5 times 4. And then up next, we'll take care of 5 times 4, which is 20. And then 20 plus 4 is 24, leaving us with the final correct answer here as C. And there we are, everybody. Again, on to the next one. But remember to learn from the current one before you move on. You got this.